Hello everyone and welcome back to our Forge modding tutorial series. Today we're gonna take a look at events. Those are in particularly helpful if you try to do something that you cannot override directly, so something that happens in the Minecraft code itself. For those things, they often throw events. And we're gonna take a look at some events, and then I'll show you how you can look at what events you can use and how to use them. First of all, we want to make a new class for that. We want to make an event handler tutorial class in our event package. I did the package already, but you need to make one. You should make one, you don't need to, but you should. Event handler for fuck's sake, tutorial. So, this stuff got easier. Again, to tell Forge that this is an event handler, you have to use an annotation. In that case, you have to use the annotation event boss subscriber, as I told up in earlier videos. That with that annotation, you can subscribe to the event boss. So now that our class is subscribed to the event boss, you can now put in any methods in here you like, but this is not automatically gonna subscribe to the event bus. So for example, if we make keep in mind that this has to be static and void, of course. So you can give that any name you want, like on blah 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 on fall, for example, for fall event, or just on, or I don't know, on damage, how you want to call it. I don't care. On, and then you can look. What's that? Oh, I got the German keyboard settings. That's not good. So there you go. We're gonna take a look at one event in particular, and you have to give the event, so you have to pass the event as parameter to the function. In that case, we're gonna use the living fall event, which is executed when a living entity falls. So we call that, we could just call it event, and then we have to use another annotation to declare this function as a function that has to subscribe to the event bus, and that is subscribe event. So now this method gets called if we or another entity falls. And we can do some decent things with the event, because we can indeed change what is going on in the Minecraft code by changing our values we have here. We for example, we can cancel the event, so this is probably, so this, if the event can be cancelled, you can just say, okay, that did not happen. This sounds a bit stupid, but for example, if you take damage, and then you can say, okay, we cancel that, so there is no damage happen, so no damage taken. This is basically cancel. Or you can set the damage to 0, of course, but then you will still have the, I don't know, the damagey thing and stuff like that. And in that case, we can set the distance, for example, or we can set the damage multiplier, which I don't have a thing for, but we can set the damage, for example. Yeah. So the damage multiplier is put in here, but we can set them ourselves here. So 0.2 float, for example. This would be the damage multiplier, which actually gives us less fall damage because it is a multiplier, and if you multiply by a value that is below 0, you get a smaller value than before. That's basically, yeah, not groundbreaking. This is mathematics, so this does work. Let's go on. Let's make another function, another example. We call that also on. We can have different. We can have the same function names, which is actually overloading. So you can overload the functions, and this will still count as a different function if you put in another event here. This is so-called dynamic polymorphism. Holy shit, that word. So dynamic polymorphism. Fuck that. Holy shit, you have to know that for your IT study or A tests, A level tests, if you want to do them. So keep that in mind. I quickly gonna show you how to find via iClips how to find different events. You can just type in event from Minecraft event bus API, and then you can open implementation. Was that right? Yeah. Now it searches and searches and searches. This takes some time, and then it will open up all subclasses. So all types of events you can have. There you see there are a lot of them. There are so many. There are item events, item expire event, item toes event, entity mob griefing events, I don't know, living jump event, living hurt event. There's so many shit. So you can just type in event and then hit control and then hover over the event and then open implementation. So write event, hover over it, open implementation. You can also do that for every other class. For example, for the living folder, open implementation, and then it will open just the class. This means it has no subclasses. If you hover over living event, you will see, okay, living event has some subclasses. That's pretty much it, how to find subclasses in Eclipse, and therefore you can also view all events that are in Forge. Now let's go on with another example. There is a right click block event where you can this is thrown when you right click a block, of course, but this is a bit different. You have 3 different types of events. The first type of event is a so-called common event, which means this is thrown on both sides, so on server and client side. And then you have client-side only events, so those are only thrown on client sides. And then you have events that are only thrown on the server side. Living fall event, for example, is only called on the server side, so you don't have to worry about that. Right-click block actually is thrown on both sides, so this is a common event. So you have to check. If you're on the server or client side for some actions. Keep in mind, you should always check that. And I think I've explained that before, but I will explain it now, how you do that. For that, we will need the world. For that, we take the world. We store that quickly in a new variable because we need that also down there. So you can get those things out of the event. The event contains most of the information you need to proceed the event, and then you can check if the world is remote. You know, world is remote. Again, this is true if this is a client-sided call. So if this is called on the client side, this is remote is true. Then you can just return, because we don't want it to be executed afterwards if this is a client side. We don't want that. So little disclaimer here. I'm doing this so that this is even up with the German versions of this video series, and I'm actually using Jojo's code to explain things, and I'm coding that like the same thing I'm coding again here. Problem is, sometimes Jojo like writes some heavy, massive, funny stuff. So apparently we are now going to check the block and check if it is a gold ore. And if you right click a gold ore, you will get experience levels. This is hilarious. And then he cancels the event. So actually you're not even right. This is ridiculous. I have never seen that before. So this is just some examples we're doing here, but they're so funny. So I'm trying to explain now what's happening and how we do that. First of all, we need another constant, which is final block pause. You can leave the final away. That's just, I don't know. He's doing sometimes he's doing like university level of clean code. I'm not doing that. I'm way too lazy to do that normally. And he's calling that pause. And we get, this is getting even ridiculously on even more ridiculous on the last event. So we get the position of the block we want to check now, and we have the world. And with the world and the position, we can get the block set, and from the block set we can get the block. This sounds complicated, but this is yeah. Remember, every function, everything every time you want to get a block or a block stat or a tile entity, this is all interaction with the world. So if you interact with the world, you're always going to need the world and a block position. Otherwise you cannot interact really good with the world. So therefore we check with an if clause, if, and then we get the, holy shit, we get the block stat, from the position pos, and from the block stat we get the block. Then we check if the block equals blocks dot gold ore. I think is that true? Gold ore. So this is only executed. This in here is only executed if you right click on a gold ore on the server side. So this is executed only then. And now you can, funny enough, you can we make another variable because we need the entity player that is hitting the block with the right click, and we call that player. This is some clean code he's writing. I'm a bit jealous of that clean code, because that's very clean. Go write it like that, not like I'm doing it. Go write it like that. That's some decent code. And now we can call player dot at experience levels, and then we can add experience levels. In that case 2. So if you right click on a gold ore, you get experience now. It's ridiculous, but we're doing this just to show off the event. So yeah, and then we cancel the event, set cancelled true. Now the event is cancelled again. As I said before, this thing is like, oh no, this doesn't happen, this didn't happen, it's just cancelled, didn't happen, and it gets all thrown away. So that's it for that event. Now we're gonna make another event, which is a play logged in event. Again, this the default stuff. On play logged in event. So add subscribe event again, and there we go. Now this is only called on the server side, I guess. So now we can get the play again, and the play equals event.getPlay. Again, you can get all the information you need out of the event. Mostly they call it entity play, get play by hitting control and space. It's called space. Control and space, you can see all the methods you have. So normally things you can get are defined by get play, get phase, get result, and things you can set are usually done by a set something blah blah blah. Those are called getter and setter. I have already explained that back in some other videos, but I'm repeating that. Holy shit, I'm repeating that over and over again, so you know that is a thing, and yeah, most people need to adjust to that. So now we send the message, send message. You can send messages here with a new text component string. That's a text component which just features a string component string. Where there we go. Now this just goes to the player and sends him a message, whatever we want. Hello world, for example. When I quickly put in hello world, that's looking good. And now if the player logs in, he will get sent the message. But that's basically it. There's some more text component. I think they feature colors and stuff like that. So that sounds good. Now we're doing another class for a client-sided event, because to make it more efficient, we are actually going to split the event handlers into different parts, because you don't need to compile them. As I said, it's the same thing again with the event handler, because you don't need them on the server side. This will cause you some problems if you do that on the server side. So now to define that event handler being on the server side, you can actually put in value equals, which gives the annotation a certain value, this dot client. That's the same thing for add only this dot client, but you need to define that this is the value. So that's basically it. I think you can leave that away, and it's still working. Yeah, it's still working. So event bus subscriber this dot client. This is actually the, I think, distribution, or I don't know, dist marker. That's so bullshit. Before that, it was called side, and side was better in my opinion, but that's certain style of coding and stuff like that. So now we are going to make a event that is called on Yeah, but basically when you change the FOV. Well, I don't know if that's practical, but this is another ridiculous event. That I don't know how to describe it, but we will go, and if the FOV updates, so the field of view is going to update, then we will set the new FOV to another value. Only if the player has a golden nugget in the hand. That shit's ridiculous. I don't know. This is yeah. I have no words for that. that is. Oh my god. So you can make those client-sided values. Subscribe event again, and then the event is FOV update event, and there we can get the player, the entity player again, player equals event dot get entity. There we go. And then we can check with an if branch if the player, what the fuck am I doing? The player dot get, I think it's held item main hand. Yeah, we want to check the main hand. You have 2 hands since 1.8, and that I know that destroyed some of the things back then. And then we can get the item because we have an item stack, and now we need to get the item out of the item stack. And if that is a items dot gold nugget, so we're checking for a gold nugget. I don't know, that's ridiculous. If we're checking for gold nugget now, and if the gold nugget is held in the main hand, then we set the event dot set new FOV to event dot get FOV multiplied by 1.3 float. So this multiplies the actual new FOV by 1.3 if we update the FOV. I have no word for that. So there we are in game. As you see, we are getting printed hello world. That's because of the server join event. That's it for, yeah. And then we get less damage from falling. I think that's pretty obvious. And what have we done? On play log in, on living full event, on right, yeah, again. Def, so if we right click that block, we should get XP. That is so ridiculous, but yeah, we got experience if we right click the block. And again, if we just hold the, yeah. That's so ridiculous. This, yeah, so you can change the behavior of default things in Minecraft by just using events. That is so good. It's so convenient to do so. So I think you get less fall damage now. I would have been halfway died. Yeah, and now we have the FOV update event. It's Minecraft Gold Nugget. There we go. Yeah, that is, look at that. That is ridiculous. Normally you can do that to make a custom bow, but that is so ridiculous. Look at that. Holy crap. Holy crap. So yeah, this is executed. You see, if you update the FOV, boop, 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 boop. Look at that. How's that looking on Quake Pro? I think that is. Holy crap! Oh shit! Look at that! Oh crap! Oh shit! Okay, that's some ridiculous shit you can do with that. So keep experimenting with that, and thanks for watching. I hope I could help you. See you in the next videos. Cheers!